January 22nd, UFC 70, Francis Ngannou is defending his belt, while unifying the belt with the interim champion, Cyril Gane. But before we get into the video, guys, make sure you do hit that like button if you do enjoy this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new to it. Let's get into it. So let's start with the champion. Francis Ngannou is riding a 5-fight win streak. Before that, he lost to Derek Lewis in which most people can just say is just a whatever fight. I think they threw about 10 punches each and like a couple switch kicks from Derek won in the fight over decision. It was one of the worst things you'll ever see in your life. But before that, he got humbled by Stipe Miocic. So that to me was the turning point in his career. Before that, knocking everyone out. He'd been in not just the UFC, he'd been in MMA for like 2 or 3 years at that point. The guy is one of the most special individuals we've ever seen grace the sport. Physically, he is arguably the best, I would say. He is definitely the most powerful individual that's ever graced the sport of MMA. Ngannou. Francis Ngannou hits like a bus. And if there's any point at this, it's one of the fights on the win streak. It's the Alistair Overeem knockout. The way he knocked out Alistair Overeem, his soul left his body. The way he knocked out Curtis Blades, you know, it's just the way, well, TKO technically, but the way he just touches you once and your whole game plan changes and you're not there anymore. Even if you're not unconscious, you have no idea what's going on. You've got giant lunch boxes coming in from the side of you. Jairzinho Rozenstruik, you know, he is such a sound technical kickboxer, and he is a much better striker than Francis. But one touch of death, and that's all she wrote. And that's what happened in that fight. Francis touched him. If you watch that fight back, he charges at him, swinging and swinging and swinging and swinging. And then one looping hit just cracks him across the jaw and he's out. And then he takes one while he's against the fence, and I believe Goddard at the time stops the fight. He's so scary. So after that Rozenstruik win, you know, Rozenstruik at that point I think was 10-0 at the time. He was unbeaten. That was his first L. He then fought Stipe, and we thought maybe Stipe can reintroduce what he did in the first fight. I made a video back on this, you know, way before it happened, obviously, and it was very mixed messages, you know, in the comments, which was great. You know, I like videos like that. A lot of people told me I was out of my mind for picking Francis hands down. I said he would have learned big time from that first fight. Stipe, I can't see the only way Stipe can win. He ain't knocking Francis out. He's just not. No one's knocking Francis out, in my opinion, other than someone like Derek Lewis if he catches it. I don't know if Gane could knock him out. Maybe you'd have to really tire Francis out, and that was never the game plan in the first Stipe fight. The first Stipe fight was to hold him down and grind a decision, and that's exactly what he did to perfection. I picked Francis in that fight because I said he will learn from that mistake. He will be more patient. And what did he do? He was more patient. That was the key to it, and that's what really impressed, I think, most people in that fight. Is when he did hurt Stipe, he backed off. He measured himself. He saw how hurt he was before he blitzed in, because he didn't just want to get slammed on his back again and grind it out. This was for the world title. This was what he'd been working towards ever since that first loss to Stipe. He had been working to get back to Stipe. Stipe was the champion throughout that whole thing, and he had only fought Daniel Cormier in that time. Whereas Francis Ngannou was knocking people out sub 1 minute every single fight. And these aren't just anybody. These are the highest elitist mixed martial arts fighters that the world has to offer, and Francis is shutting them off like that. It's remarkable. He's a scary, scary dude. And then you've got Bongamin, Cyril Gane. Now, this guy's an enigma to me. He had 3 fights in mixed martial arts. Granted, this guy is another kickboxer. He's had a plenty combat sports experience before mixed martial arts. But he'd had 3 fights in mixed martial arts and then came over to the UFC, which back in the day was not unheard of. You know, a lot of people had a few fights, came over to the UFC, won 1 or 2 and got a title fight, because the pool of fighters in the roster, you know, they were so small and condensed, I should say. Cyril Gane had 3 fights in modern day mixed martial arts, came over because he's a specimen and no one would want to fight him, and he still hasn't lost. He has won 7 in a row in the UFC. He is the interim champion after decimating Derek Lewis, finishing Derek Lewis. I don't think he got punched cleanly in the whole fight. think Derek threw maybe 6 strikes in the entire fight. He couldn't do anything. The range and the technicality of Cyril Gane is it's amazing. It's just so incredible to watch. The movement this guy possesses, he moves like a lightweight to welterweight. He bounces the whole fight. He's bouncing in and out, in and out, in and out. He's never like just a plodding target. I always talk about it. You got fighters like Jose Aldo that have their high guard, hit with the low kick, and they stand there and they plant their feet and they swing their hooks. They swing everything into power punches. Cyril Gane doesn't. He's in and out. He clips you. He hits you with a 1-2. He will back out with a low kick. Coming out of a clinch, he's learned how to evade punches or elbows coming out of clinches to not even land his own, just to separate and get back to his game plan, which is putting pressure on you, cutting angles, and damaging you, man. And he's got very good teeps to the stomach. He's got very good low kicks. He's got extremely good high kicks. The guy is just a monster, and he throws with volume. The only thing we haven't seen from Cyril Gane is pure knockout power, which I am pretty sure he possesses because he's a heavyweight. Everyone does, but it's not his style. His style isn't just to go in there and try and land one shot to knock you out. And if he did, I'm sure he would have some more on his record, but I guarantee he'd have some L's as well. The way he fights is he breaks you down. He breaks your character. You have no game plan when he frustrates you that much. And that could be a real thing in this fight. It's exactly what he did to Volkov. It's exactly what he did to Lewis, Rosenstrike, all these guys. They have both fought the same guys, other than I think Volkov. And you can see the difference. Francis knocks him out sub 1 minute. Scary. Gane dismantles them and grinds out decisions and a TKO. There is sparring footage of these guys together. I don't know if they were teammates, but they trained together at least for a little while. It's hard to get together what do you make of that training footage, because training footage is training footage, A fight is completely different. Gane, to me, if he can wear out Ngannou the same way Stipe did, but from a range point of view with technicality, there's no reason he can't outpoint Ngannou in this fight. There is no way you're convincing me he's going to knock Ngannou out, though. I really don't believe he will. If there's going to be a knockout, Francis is landing it. If Francis is going to win, I think personally it has to be within the first 2 rounds. I think this is a 5-round war. I think this is going to be a chess match for Gane. Or he has to make it to a chess match. He has to make it let's point fight, because that's the way he wins this title. Unifies it and starts a complete dominant reign for me, because he is a new breed of heavyweight fighter. Very similar to Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall has come into the UFC, and you can see there's similarities with him and Gane. Gane does it 10 times better in my opinion, but the difference is when Aspinall has you hurt, he goes for the kill. When Gane has you hurt, I don't think he has that killing instinct, or he might have it, but he hasn't shown it yet. If he's going to do it on Ngannou, that would be an incredible statement. I just don't see it. I am picking Gane in this fight. If you say to someone, look, this guy has finished everyone sub 1 minute, he beat, other than the ex-champion, which he knocked out Sparko in the 2nd round, didn't get touched in the entire fight, defended the only takedown that the wrestler tried to do, and then reversed it and took the wrestler down and hammered his face as a punishment for trying to take him down, you'd go, this guy's a monster. He's genetically the greatest we've ever seen. He's a freak of nature. He's so scary and he's confident. We've got this guy who's a technical striker, completely dominates range, doesn't get hit. I haven't seen Gane get clipped properly. If he's going to get clipped in this fight, I want to see how well his chin holds up. It's such an interesting matchup, because I'm like 51 Gane, 49 Ngannou. This fight is really close to me, but I want to know what you guys think. Who do you think is going to win this fight? How do you think they're going to win this fight? Do you think I'm completely off? Do you think I'm missing something? Because absolutely could be. I've watched so much footage of Gane lately, just recapping Gane in my mind, because I just like watching him fight. He's technically brilliant. I like kickboxers in MMA. I like Muay Thai fighters. I like technical striking. That's my favourite thing. I love grappling aspect, but this fight we know isn't going to be a mixed martial arts fight. This fight is going to be a kickboxing fight. That's how it's going to go down. it's going to be a stand-up striking war. But man, I don't know who's going to win. 51 to Gane. I'm gonna put my money on Gane. Who have you guys got? Let us know in the comments below, guys, who you've got. If you like the fight, share the video, guys. Remember, if you have enjoyed it, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and we'll see you in the next one. Plenty to talk about. Cheers, guys.